It takes a revolution to make a solution. Too much confusion, so much frustration. So, my friend, I wish you could see, like a bird in the tree, the prisoners must be free. And that is a quote from Robert Nesta Marley, aka Bob Marley. This quote addresses one of the main reasons I created Hippie Fari, the beautiful, life-changing message of reggae music. It was created for social change, and its message is as strong today as it was in the 60s when the first reggae records were released in Jamaica. So welcome to another episode of Hippie Fari Reggae Radio and Podcast, recorded live in the Ohm and Honey Reggae Radio and Media Studios in beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida. I am your host, Scotty the High-Strung Hippie, and Hippie Fari is a place where we obviously discuss all things reggae, so if reggae music is your thing, you're in the right place. We're also doing a free t-shirt and sticker giveaway. Go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, then download any Hippie Fari episode on your favorite streaming platform. Send me both screenshots to hippiefaraireggae@gmail.com and I'll pick a winner. Now today we have a very special guest in the studio. This dude is on fire when it comes to consistently dropping, producing, and composing some of the dopest reggae music you have ever heard. From his solo work, boasting 3 full-length albums and a fistful of singles, and a ton of new work that we're going to be discussing today, to the work that he puts in playing bass, singing, and touring with his band Drifting Roots. Our guest is the definition of the term grind. Now, we have developed a friendship over the past year, and he supported all of my projects wholeheartedly, and for that, we are forever grateful. Folks, please join me in welcoming Z-Ion to the studio. Welcome, bro.
Hey, how's it going? Shout out Hippie Fari Radio Podcast. Shout out Drifting Roots. And shout out all the artists that have been working with Creation Walker Productions lately.
Man, oh, dude, thank you so much, man. That's awesome. Most people just say hi. I definitely appreciate that. I love the shout-outs, man. And let me double those shout-outs, especially to Drifting Roots, man. Absolutely fantastic band. I love all the members, but watching you perform, slap that bass is definitely something special, man. You're definitely a beast with everything you do, and your vocals are just absolutely incredible on top of it.
Oh, it means a lot, bro. Definitely having a lot of fun, and I got some good guys beside me, so I give thanks.
Yeah, you do it, man. I often wonder, whenever we were collabing before with my clothing company, I mean, you're just constantly putting out music, bro. Like, you're working with somebody, putting out music, you're touring, you're releasing stuff, you're doing a dub album, like, just crazy, man, nonstop, bro. You kind of remind me of myself.
Music is life, you know. You gotta do it however you can. You know, I'm grateful I could play in a band and tour and produce for so many artists, and
That's great.
even drop music with my own music too. So I give thanks for all that.
Amen to that, bro. And that's what it's all about. It's all about giving thanks to the Most High, bro. Definitely. So we appreciate it. So speaking of that, man, you've been taking Creation Walker Productions global. What sparked the vision to expand your collaborations internationally?
Thank you, bro. I love Creation Walker Productions. It's the new reggae music production company. I guess I started last year. Today
Beautiful.
is the second year. Well, it's the second year we've been running it.
Beautiful.
And what happened last year is I dropped a song in my brain around 420, almost a year ago. And then I got a message while I was promoting it from a DJ from Italy named DJ Loco Simon. Shout out DJ Loco Simon. And he told me I should go reach out to Ross Nelson from Norway.
Right on.
So I did that. And then after we were talking back and forth, we made a song together. And it's been a whole year. And we established a great friendship between me and Ross Nelson and DJ Loco Simon. And between me and Ross Nelson, we actually have an entire album worth of music we are dropping later this year.
That is so cool, man.
I give thanks for the collaboration long time.
Absolutely, man. And it's very cool that that you're working with all these people internationally. I spend a lot of my time deep diving reggae, especially international artists, and it's really cool. Whenever I hit you up to do this podcast, and you told me the artists you were working with, that they were international, I was like, all right, you know, I'm gonna learn some stuff. But it's kind of cool that I recognize almost all the names, which is awesome. So you're not just working with international. You're working with some heavy hitters internationally, which is a beautiful thing, bro.
I give thanks. Opportunities just seem to keep falling on my lap, and
Amen.
the music, I guess, speaks for itself, because when you are a producer and people like your rhythms, a lot of people want to get on it. So it's
Absolutely.
been cool working with people all over the world, because while I've been promoting songs with Ross Nelson, a lot of people all over the world have been reaching out, and it's
Sure.
been a natural process.
That is so cool, man. And I firmly believe that a lot of that has to do with you giving thanks. You know, you're grateful, man. You put that intention out there, it comes right back to you. It's a beautiful thing, dude. So, what does it mean to you personally and spiritually to bring together voices from pretty much the entire world?
Well, it's part of the reggae mission. You know, reggae music is a spiritual music, and
Sure.
it's a mission. And part of my mission, I believe, is to bring forth that. And with a lot of these artists I work with, and even playing on stage, giving people like that energy with that they can leave home with. You know, it's spiritual fulfillment, and that's how I feel. So I keep a strong faith with the Most High, and I literally tell
Beautiful.
him to use me as a vessel of His will, and then these opportunities fall in my lap, and I'm like,
Amen.
that's what's meant to be. I'm doing Joe works.
That's beautiful, man. That's so beautiful. Well, you're definitely on the right podcast for that. We are a very spiritually driven podcast. It's in the name, Fari. So, thank you so much for being open about that, man. That's definitely much appreciated. Now, let's talk about Canada. Exco Levi just won another Juno Award. So, how did your track "Love Language" with him come together?
Yo, shout out Esco Levi coming out of Canada.
Woot, woot.
It's great because he actually had a show with my brother Ross Nelson up in Norway.
Nice.
And after he had the show, I sent him a message and I told him about I've been working with a lot of artists around the world, and I sent him a rhythm. I sent him a song and a rhythm, and he heard the rhythm and he's like, I like the rhythm. So he sent me a song that he wrote on it. And that was the start of a new project I'm working on called Reggae to the World Rhythm, where it's a
Love it.
rhythm I made and I pitched around a bunch of my artists around the world that I'm working with. And I got a lot of different versions. And this year it's going to be coming out. So stay tuned for a lot of new singles and the compilation album.
That is so freaking awesome, dude. You know, and like I mentioned before, you're definitely no stranger to releasing music. You always got something coming out, and that's a beautiful thing that you're not stopping. I imagine you being 70 years old, dropping fire, man. I love it.
Bro, I
So,
appreciate that. Thank
absolutely,
you.
man. Speaking of the track Love Language, what was your intention behind the sound and more so the message of that track?
Well, it's funny because it's the same instrumental as my track In My Brain I mentioned that I dropped a year
Yeah,
ago. So it's been a natural process because after promoting that same track, it's like this whole album came together from around the world. So it's been really cool to just see it happen.
that's so awesome, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, you're kind of sitting there and watching it unfold, man. That's so cool. So speaking of Uganda, kind of moving on. Now you've been collaborating with Japila Faya from Uganda. Um,
Yeah, Bongo Watch Up in the Fire.
yeah, Bangawat, absolutely. How did you two connect, man?
Yeah, it's because after I started working with artists around the world, I was like, where else can I work with artists? So I was looking up people around the world. I started looking up different countries and reggae. So I
Yeah,
stumbled upon Bongo Watchapilla Fire on YouTube. He's out in Uganda. So he actually sent me vocals for two tracks. He's going to be on the Rhythm album, and me and him have a collab that we're cooking up. So I would
beautiful,
stay
man.
tuned for new tracks from Bongo Watchapilla Fire, and stay tuned. He's got a song called Let Jah Be Praised on the
Yes,
Rhythm.
that's beautiful, man. Now, you had mentioned obviously researching the international reggae, and it's kind of cool. My podcast, I've got almost 10 episodes out, but it actually shows me where they were downloaded around the world, and I'm in. That's like over 20 different countries now. So I started deep diving into all the countries that are downloading my podcast, because obviously there's a lot of reggae fans over there, and it's really neat, man. To Papua New Guinea and Ivory Coast, you know what I mean? There's reggae scenes everywhere where you wouldn't think, and just some incredible music. So hats off to you, man, for stepping outside of your locality and doing it international style, man. That's great. Bringing two styles together is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I
So,
give thanks to the artists who are working with me too, because it's beautiful as a producer to hear different people do their take on beats that you make. So,
100%, man. And now that song "Jah Must Be Praised," the upcoming collab, where you both sing, can you tell us about that track a little bit?
yeah, the track that we both sing on is actually called "Reggae to the World."
Oh, okay. Sorry about
So
that.
it kind of goes with the theme of the album too, because
Okay.
but it's
Right.
separate. It's kind of it's separate track though, but
Okay.
it's Reggae to the World. It's cool because I actually originally pitched that song to Esco Levi
Hmm.
with the rhythm, and he didn't want to do the well, I don't know. He just was feeling the rhythm, He was feeling the rhythm that I sent him. That's all he let
Right.
me know. So, I kept the song, so I repitched it to Bongo Watt, and he jumped on it. So I'm glad that he did. So I'm looking forward to releasing that and showing the world some new tracks from Bongo Watt Your Pillar Fire
That's awesome,
coming out of
dude.
Uganda.
Hell yeah, man. Beautiful. Yep. Represent. Shout out 100%. Hopefully he'll listen to this podcast when it's out, and I can have him on. You know what I mean? That would be absolutely beautiful.
I'm sure he would be absolutely stoked.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. That's what it's all about. That's that community building. It's how we do it. One brick at a time, man. So
Absolutely.
let's talk about this powerhouse roster from Jamaica, man. It's clearly close to your heart with artists like Ross Redemption, Jamuda, Turbulence. Now, how do you select who you work with in such a musically rich place? I mean, there's got to be tons of superb, perfect artists over there. You know what I mean? So, what's your selection process like?
Well, it's tricky. So let's take a step back for a second. We're talking about Jamuda.
Yep.
In 2018, I sent Jamuda a beat I produced, and he told me that in Jamaica, they do not ride no rinky dinky beats. Okay, let me tell you that.
Wow. Straight
So
up.
shout out Jamuda, because I listened to that and I did not know, I never made no rinky dinky beat again. You know what I mean?
Amen. Sometimes you need to hear it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I made the beats as tough as possible, and they speak for themselves because, all right, for instance, Turbulence is a massive artist. I never imagined him wanting to ride on my beats. You know what I mean? But
Right, right.
I sent the beat to my brother Makaru. He's a young artist in Jamaica, and he was playing the beat where he lives at. He lives in like the camp where Turbulence lives, apparently,
Right.
to my knowledge. And when Turbulence heard the beat, he was like, "Hey, I want to sing on this." So
Nice. That's great.
that happened really natural. So shout out Turbulence, shout out Makaru. Cut off the serpent neck. It's a big tune about fighting away the devil and
That's a great
demons
name.
and the
I like
evil
that.
off of the earth. So
That's
I'm glad we're
beautiful.
bringing powerful music straight from the Most
Yes.
High.
Yes,
So
man. Absolutely. And like I opened the show with, the message of reggae is still as strong today as it was in the 60s when the first records were released. And it still is a vessel for change. You know what I mean? It's a weapon. And
absolutely.
used properly, we can, like you said, cut the head right off the serpent. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
Um, so how did your collaboration with Jada from Guyana come about? What makes her stand out to you as a producer?
Before we jump over to
Yeah.
Jada from Guyana, I
Mm,
also want to shout out my boy Ross Redemption from Jamaica, my
yep.
boy Hardio. Me and Hardio have been working on songs together since 2018. We released a track called Step In together. We also released a track called High Grade with Luciano, who
Nice.
is a legendary reggae artist that I give thanks. It's like I can't believe like this kid from outside Chicago is making these tracks with these reggae legends out of Jamaica. Like, it still blows my mind today.
That's
And
awesome,
I
dude.
give thanks for all of it. And shout out my boy Mazadon. Me and him been working hard. He's got a new EP titled Knowledge coming
Yes.
out, completely produced by Creation Walker Productions. I'm featured on a track. He's got a friend called Simple Cool Voice featuring on another track. So stay tuned. Knowledge dropping later this year.
That's awesome. That's actually a question I was going to ask. So let's go ahead and what themes or vibes should listeners expect from Knowledge?
Yeah,
That
I'm glad
EP.
you
Yeah.
touched it.
Yep.
Yeah, so Mazadon, he sings about the real life out on the streets.
Uh-huh.
out in the ghetto in Jamaica where he lives. So he
Okay.
sings about how it lives down in the yard. It's hard out where he lives, and he
Sure.
also shouts out, the black woman. He's got an empress. Shout out his empress, and he actually wanted me to feature on that song. So, black woman, no worry, check it out. That song's gonna be featured on Knowledge, featuring Zion. And another track he's working on too. I sent him the rhythm also because after we made the first 3 tracks, I'm like, I want to hear what you got. So I sent him the same rhythm that everybody's been singing on. And let me tell you that he did not disappoint. So
Oh, that's great, man.
it's a whole heap of energy. It's got a tough vibe to it. It's not really like your beach reggae vibe, except for like the last song is more happy like because it's the
Yeah.
same rhythm
Yep.
that is in my brain. But the other songs, they're tough. It's like reggae Eminem
I like
coming
it.
out of Spanish Town. So shout
Well,
out Mazadan.
that's beautiful. That's what I like about your music too. Your solo stuff is it's tough reggae. It's got like really well, you're a bass player, so but it's got those really nice bass lines, you know what I mean, that hit hard. I like that. You know what I mean? It can be slow, but it just bam, you know what I mean? It smacks you upside the head. I love that, you know what I mean? So that's a
It's a
beautiful thing, man.
it's an honor to play bass, and I love the bass. The low end it's the heart of reggae music.
Yes, it is, man. It sure is, dude. You nailed it. Yep, yep. The drums and that bass, man, 100%.
Absolutely. I know you're a great percussionist also, so shout out yourself.
Thanks, bro. Who knows? Maybe I'll hop on a couple of tracks with you. You could
That'd be cool.
yeah, that
Send
would
me
be
some Nyabingi drums.
oh, that would be great, man. Absolutely, man. Um, so tell us a little bit about the France Norway link, Natanja, Hardio, and Ross Nelson. And what does the international dub community mean to you?
Absolutely. I hate to jump around a little bit, but shout out Jada,
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
from Guyana.
Yep.
Also ties back to Jamaica. Also, another artist I've been working with too, King Malachi. He actually wrote the song for Jada to sing from Guyana.
Oh, nice.
So there's a lot of different artists in play that
Sure.
are coming in the hand with this new collaboration album. So
That's awesome, man.
stay
Right on.
tuned. It's gonna be really cool. And yeah, back to Natanja
Yep.
and Hardio. So
Yep.
Hardio and Natanja is out in France.
Yep.
Hardio and Natanja have a song together.
Oh, great.
So working with Hardio, me and Hardio have been working on a collaboration album as well. So we
Nice,
have
man.
been adding remixes to the track. So the song that they have together, we're remixing, featuring myself also. So we're adding myself to the mix too with a new instrumental. It's going to be cool. So stay tuned. New work's coming out from France and Jamaica and America.
Norway. I think you're literally gonna quote unquote set a record for the amount of records released in a year, man. Jeez.
It's kind of overwhelming sometimes, bro. But
Sure.
I just try to like do one thing at a time.
Yeah. Did you ever get confused and sing the wrong lyrics on a track? You got so many going on, man.
It's crazy because I've been working with so many different artists. I have not been able to start a single new song myself this entire year because I've been just working with other artists and mixing and mastering and this and that, doing the producer side. So I haven't had time to like write my own songs, but I have songs that I already have.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't have to worry about
Right.
that. I just gotta roll them out.
That's awesome, man. So it's already done. Yeah, it's always good to have stuff in the hopper. You know what I mean? Whenever I started doing the podcast, my wife was like, have them in queue. So if something happens, you know what I mean? Or say I get sick for a month or I can't talk, I lose my voice. I've got enough for a month to go out. You know what I mean? So that kind of sounds like you with music.
Absolutely.
You got it ready to roll. That's great, man. So let's kind of bring it back home here for a second. From the US, you've got songs coming out with Amlock, Gary Dredd, Stone Tribe. Gary Dredd, that's awesome, dude. What
Oh
an
yeah,
amazing
shout out
artist.
Gary Dredd from the movement. Massive artist, super cool guy.
Now,
Humble Rastaman.
what role is this American reggae dub scene playing in your vision? Because I know you're international, and you're national and international.
So it's mainly connecting about reggae to the world, but America is where I'm from, and I got to hold it down and represent. So
Amen.
hear me out. I'm from Chicago, so that's from the Northeast. Gary Dredd, he's from the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Fakir Amlak, he's in Los Angeles. Stone Tribe is in Texas. So I have four corners of America to represent
That's
also.
great, man. I love that, dude.
So
The
it's really cool.
northeast, the south, and the west. That's fantastic, bro. You're definitely covering all bases, man.
I'm grateful to start putting out music as a producer because I get inspired by a lot of great artists and as an artist and also as a producer, and to see these ideas come together like this has been a really humbling and natural process, and I can only give thanks to the Most High and the artists who've been working with me and the fans too showing support.
Beautiful. Speaking of the Most High, he gave me a gift of intuition, man. I got a feeling you're gonna blow up internationally. Working with these artists, there's gonna be people over there that hadn't heard you before. They're gonna hear you, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, this is great, man." Kind of like I was when I first heard Zion. I was like, "This is fire, man! Absolutely
Thanks,
incredible
bro.
stuff, dude."
I
Yep.
appreciate that a lot.
Um. Now, speaking of bringing it back home, but also working internationally, are there any differences that you notice in style or in energy working with the U.S. based artists versus the international artists?
I would say so. I would say
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So I work with a lot of different artists, but if we're talking about the rhythm exactly,
Hmm.
I've noticed that the international artists' takes on it have been kind of more. It's hard to
You're
put
looking
it.
for the
So
right
so
word. That's what.
so
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's kind of weird. So not separating any of the styles. I'll talk about how they're all together instead,
Okay, cool. That works.
because I love each and every artist style that's going to be on this track.
Sure.
And one thing that brings it all together is the reverence to faith and Jah and the Rastafari,
That is
because
so
it's
awesome.
liberty. It's a liberty. This is reggae music. This is Jah music. So
Amen.
we got to give praise to the Most High. Let Jah be praised. We're not going to stop.
Amen. That is so cool too. That everybody that you're collabing with is that's what spirituality brings people together. You know what I mean? My spirituality. I connect with a lot of people that are not from here. You know what I mean? That are overseas from other countries. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing about the Most High. You know what I mean? Is it brings people together to do beautiful things. Um,
All the
no more
reverence.
wars in the name of God. You know what I mean? We're making music,
Yeah, absolutely.
and
Bringing peace.
that's a beautiful thing. Um, so we definitely hear a big announcements coming. Tell us about Higher Vibe with Innovision, man.
Higher vibe with Innovision. Shout
What
out
makes this
Innovision.
collaboration special? And that was kind of a dumb question. I can tell you there's a million things that make this collaboration special. Number one being it's with Innovision. Absolutely
Innovision. What
phenomenal.
What an inspiration. I don't know if I would
Yes,
even be a reggae artist singing on tracks if it wasn't for Innovision. Honestly, I was singing their tracks back in high school, and
that's
like my
crazy.
friend was like, "You should be a reggae singer." And I'm like, "Dude, for real? I never thought of that. Being a producer, I thought of, but never
Sure.
a reggae singer."
Sure.
But like, I was like, "All right, maybe it's possible." And, so shout out Innovision. And then, I've been trying to get him on a track for a long time.
Yep.
I've been trying to get him on Ancient Ways even, and he told me I gotta come harder too. Everybody tells me I gotta come harder, and then I
That's
come
awesome.
harder.
Yeah.
I don't let
Amen.
them down. So I came back with album 3. I came in with another track. So Higher Vibe with Innovision. Shout out Koa.
That's
You
cool.
know, it's such an honor to work with him, and he's a huge inspiration because now I can sing and play bass too. I used to not be able to do that, and
Right. Sure. That's
watching
cool.
him do his thing, I'm like, yo, like let's do this thing.
Yep.
So
That's
you
cool,
know,
man.
he's been a constant inspiration, and to work with him, I'm like, his dreams come true. I love working with artists who've inspired me. Like
Oh
also, like
yeah, man.
I don't know if you listen to Indubious, but shout out Indubious.
Absolutely.
Growing up, I was a huge fan of Indubious, like an Indubious head, like, and to work with them and to even be on their album, I was like, yo, isn't it's dreams come true? So I'm like,
Sure.
all right. So I feel like I was made for this. So I'm just keeping it going.
Well, you definitely were because you're humble and you take not even criticism, you take advice. They say bring it harder, you go harder. That's great, man. You know what I mean? Because they're only trying to lift you up. So it's obviously coming from a place of love, and that's pretty cool. You know, you went harder, and look, man, now you're collabing with your childhood idol. Not I wouldn't say idols, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, in the reggae scene though, in the American reggae scene, like I've been working with artists that I've looked up to and wanted to work with like since I was in high school. So it
Right.
is definitely is cool. It is cool. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take that away. Like
Absolutely.
if I knew that I was gonna be doing this like this, I would be like I would be I mean, I would be stoked. I didn't think
Yeah.
that I'm not gonna lie. So
100%, man.
really
So
cool.
is higher vibe pointing like towards a new sound or direction for Z Ion?
I mean, I got a lot of new sound coming out,
Yeah.
so I love to keep the tradition of the root sound,
Oh yeah.
and I love to do that. But I also like to bring a new sound, so I'm mixing
Sure.
it a little bit with some like you'll hear it's a little bit more interesting of a vibe because I like to have a lot of extra stuff in my beats,
Sure.
for lack of a
Amen.
better word,
Yep.
I spice it up a lot. So,
That's so
a
awesome,
lot
dude.
of these beats are really cool, and a lot of the artists I've been collabing with are really cool. And there's a lot of guest dub versions and guest producers, and a lot of guest artists that I've been working with, and even get guest instrumentalist. I got a
Nice.
song coming out with Jay Fillet. Shout out John Felice.
Nice.
He's a great guitarist.
That's awesome, man. So
He's
you're covering all the bases, dude.
Yeah, he's featuring on a track called "Stop Now" with me and Ross Nelson. It's
Oh,
a powerful
fantastic.
track. I can't wait to release it.
That's great. So this is kind of I wouldn't say off topic, but do you have a release schedule already in mind?
So
Or are you
I'm
just gonna
not.
like slam it?
I am trying to list out all the songs I want to release this year,
Right.
and then I will make a release schedule. But for
So
now, I'm just planning to seal up the Rhythm album, release some singles,
yeah,
and
that's
then
just what I was gonna ask. Were you gonna do singles or were you just gonna slap the whole album down? I think the
yeah,
singles are definitely the smartest way to go. You know what I mean?
the singles, especially for the bigger artists that are featuring on the album, because I want to bring the most attention that I
Yes.
can to the
Yes.
project.
Yes.
So I'm just
Right
trying to
on,
play
man.
it right. Creation Market Productions, year 2, going strong.
That's beautiful, man. And speaking of that, man, speaking of production, speaking of you being an artist, how do you balance your work as a producer and an artist? And how do you know it's time to like step on the mic, or how do you know when it's time to step behind the board? Like, what's the thought process of I'm gonna produce now, I'm gonna, write music now?
Well, it's crazy because when I do find time to make a rhythm, I'll make fire rhythms, but
Yeah,
I'll be in a flow state.
right,
So I guess it's the vibe. A lot of artists that I know are like that too. Like if they're in the mood for recording, they'll be like, "All right, it's a good day to record."
right.
They'll be feeling it.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like it's kind of the same thing for producing. But I mean, I have a lot of projects that I have to finish, so I've been just trying to finish mixing and mastering the Ross Nelson collab album,
right.
which I have. It's got a bunch of dub versions and remixes and regular versions, so
Wow.
it's got a lot of stuff on the package, including I don't know if you know my track "Fire" from Ancient Ways.
100%, man. I love Ancient Ways. Great album, by the way.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Me,
And
Ross
Ancient
Nelson.
Dub too.
Oh, thank you so much, bro. I love
Yep.
that. I love that so much. Yeah, me, Ross Nelson, and Fakir on Block with the remix, Fire remix coming later. So
That's
that's gonna be
fantastic,
cool.
man. Right on. So, I think I probably know the answer because this is the answer I would give. But what message or energy do you always try to bring through all of your productions?
Well, I keep it grounded
Yep.
in my spirituality and the way I live my life,
Yeah.
which is
Amen.
spiritual. I mean, you could
Hmm.
hear it in the lyrics.
Yes. Absolutely. And I've interacted with you, um, and I've seen you when you're out playing and stuff like that, and you definitely do practice what you preach. You know what I mean? And if you don't, you do a really good job hiding it because, but no, that's
I'm
an
not
awesome
perfect.
thing. No,
And
no,
I learn from my mistakes, and that's how
definitely.
I write my songs. Like,
Sure, man. Yeah.
like like
Yep. Amen. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's what life's all about, though. I was a restaurant manager for a really long time, and I would have employees. They would tell me, "Oh, I messed this up." I'm like, "That's fine, fix it." It's not everybody makes mistakes. It's how quickly you recover from them. That's what gives you the mark right there. So yeah, that's perfect, man. Definitely appreciate that, bro.
yeah, you
So
gotta have grit.
oh yeah, absolutely. Now, if you could describe the mission of Creation Walker Productions in one sentence, what would it be?
Unifying people around the world.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I mean, you should make that into a t-shirt, bro.
I like that.
Me
Thank you.
too.
Yeah, nice.
Unifying
Put me on the
people around the
spot.
world. I love it. Yeah, of course. That's what podcasts are all about, man. um, I was doing one with a friend. It was for my other podcast, but I told her I was like, feel free to ask me questions too. She thought that was a little weird, but I was like, hey man, it's an open forum. If somebody wants to know something about me, by all means, they can put me on the spot and ask away. But I feel like that's when a lot of people come up with their best answers, when they're it's crunch time.
What's it been like running a podcast, working with so many talented artists?
It's been absolutely amazing, to be quite honest with you. I Doing a podcast is something I'd always wanted to do. Well, not always. I'd always wanted to be a radio DJ. Ever since I saw the movie Pump Up the Volume of Christian Slater, he was a pirate radio DJ. And my sister was in radio. So I used to, go into the studios and all that kind of stuff and hang around with the actual DJs, not that spin records, but the ones on the radio. And I'd always wanted to be on the radio. And I was like, here's my chance. I'm going to do a podcast. And from the day that I got the podcast gear to now, I had no clue that I was going to be able to work with so many amazing artists. And, but I'm like you. I go after it, I'll send emails, I'll send messages on social media until I get a hard no, I won't stop. And it's worked pretty good. But my wife was saying the other day, she's like, this is moving way quicker than we thought.
That's how I feel too, man. So I'm in the
Yeah, it's
same boat.
wild. The amount of downloads that I have for my just starting out nation or internationally are huge. So it's pretty cool, man. And that's an indicator to me that I'm going in the right direction. So I'm giving thanks and praise to, the Most High, and I'm just continuing to do it, man. And I love it so much. It's amazing to be able to have people like you on and get the inside scoop and talk about stuff that you would never normally know. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for that question, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you for that great answer, and thank you for giving praise to the Most High. Thank you for having me on the podcast. It's been so much pleasure for me to see you grow, and I'm
That's
sure
great,
you
dude.
feel the same.
I
So,
sure do,
let's keep
man.
it going.
100%, man. So what's next for Z Ion and Creation Walker? Any live shows or do you have any surprise collabs that we don't know about that you might be able to drop a few hints?
Yeah, I got besides the track that we revealed, I've got some more tracks coming out. I don't want to over vibe everybody, but I have another
Exactly.
track called Got the Vibe, separate than Higher Vibe, but it's
Nice,
Got the
right?
Vibe. It doesn't feature anybody, but there's going to be a YouTube music video slash
Beautiful.
visual that'll go along with it. It'll
That's
be like
great.
a music video to go with it. So it's gonna be
That's
cool to
awesome, man.
see. So releasing it, and there's gonna be a lot of cool new stuff. I'm glad that everybody's been showing support, and stay tuned, and more music to come.
And I love the videos too. That's why I do the podcast. I do the video podcast. You can, most people listen, through their podcast apps or whatever. But for the people that do sit at home and cruise YouTube, it's cool to have a video. I feel like people get a lot more engaged if they're staring at the people that are on the podcast. So I'm with you on the videos thing, on the videos. I think that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
So
just dipping my toes in it, but yeah, I definitely want to be pushing more on YouTube too.
YouTube is the way to go. I get all these newsletters from all these podcast places, and one of the headlines the other day was "Drop every single thing you are doing and focus on YouTube." And after reading the article, I was like, "Yeah, they're pretty much right."
Send me the article if you don't mind.
I will do that, absolutely.
Thanks, bro.
So can we talk a little bit about your other band, Drifting Roots? Do you guys have anything on the roster, or
Yeah.
any stuff coming out? Just give it to me. Give me tours, give me
Yeah.
links, give me everything.
If you're out in the Florida area, coming up around April 17th, 18th, and 19th, we have 3 shows in Florida. So go ahead and check out driftingroots.com. We are driftingroots.com. Don't forget the we. We are
Right.
driftingroots.com.
Nice.
That will bring you to our website. We've got our tour link right there. You can buy the tickets, and you know, if you're in the Florida area, we'd love to party with you guys. So
Yeah, phenomenal band, amazing sound. They stick to the roots. I absolutely love Drifting Roots. It's in the name.
thanks.
So thank you so much, man. I definitely appreciate it. Can we go through and one last time just throw some those shout outs?
Yes. Shout out Matt and Zach from Drifting Roots. They play alongside me. Shout out the artists I've been working with. Shout out Mazadon. Shout out Jamuda. Shout out Hardio. Shout out Fakir Amlak. Shout out Ross Redemption. Shout out Gary Dredd. Shout out Stone Tribe. Shout out Jada. Shout out King Malachi. Shout out DJ Loco Simon. Shout out DJ Biga de Teacher. Shout out Natanja.
Nice.
Shout out Lion Eye. I know we didn't mention him earlier, but I've been working with him from India.
Right, yep.
Shout out Makaru. Shout out Turbulence.
That's just a great name too, Lion Eye. I love that, man.
Oh yeah, Lion Eye. Yeah, he's a great artist. You should check out his track. He recently dropped a track with Root Fire.
Nice.
It's about changing the world. You should check it out. Lion Eye. You type in Lion Eye Root Fire, I'm sure it'll show up right away.
Beautiful.
It's a great song. So
Very
if I
cool,
missed
man.
anybody, I apologize. Shout out Ross Nelson. Oh yes.
There we
Shout
go.
out Ross Nelson.
Yeah.
My dude. Yeah, we got the album coming out. How could I forget you?
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God.
I was sitting here looking at the list going, is he going to pull that one out? Yeah, you did. That's awesome, man.
Shout them out. Shout out Stone Tribe if I didn't already.
And to your mom, who
shout out my mom coming in to visit.
Yeah,
Shout out
you're
my
about to
Empress
visit,
holding it down.
Tell you about
she
what's
gives
up,
me a lot
mom?
of
How you doing?
support. Oh yeah, definitely. I can't wait to show her the podcast, and I appreciate you, bro. Shout out yourself because
Thank you, brother. I
you've
appreciate
been
that, man.
great support ever since we started talking, and it's been fun.
Oh, 100%. Oh, the fun just started, man.
I can't
Absolutely.
wait.
You've got so much stuff, and one of my favorite things I'm looking forward to doing is bringing artists back on to talk about stuff. So you've got enough music coming out where if I brought you back on to talk about your new releases, you're the only person I would be doing a podcast with for like the next year.
I know I missed so many people in the shout outs. I apologize. Shout out Luciano, shout out Bongo Watcher Pillow Fire. Oh my gosh, it's been so much fun working with all you artists, and
that's fantastic, man. Right on, brother.
Thanks.
Heck yeah, 100%.
Oh, and shout out Escaliva. I just won the Juno Awards.
Yes.
And congratulations to you if you're hearing this right now.
That's awesome.
So,
well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with one of my favorite quotes, and you actually love this quote. We had talked about it before. I don't know if you remember it, but it's strength and unity, build your community. My favorite personal quote, man, and that kind of embodies everything that we're all about and embodies reggae music. So follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, Hippie Fari. Shoot me an email, hippieFariReggae@gmail.com. Visit my website, hippiefari.podbean.com. Now, this is Scotty, the high-strung hippie, reminding you to speak your mind before somebody else does it for you. And check out my other podcast, Sacred Frequency Podcast. And don't forget to check out my band, Seed From a Tree, seedfromatree.com. If you like roots reggae, you're going to love it. So do something nice for somebody today. Grab flowers for your partner. Smoke out a stranger. Slip the homeless man a buck. But whatever you do, do it from the heart. All good things start with the heart. Peace, love, and Rasta rhythms are all a part of that reggae revolution. One love, fam.